Welcome to the Ingredient Evolution, your go-to podcast for insights into the world of formulation and manufacturing, with a special focus on cannabis and cosmetics. Join your host and CEO of Elix Ingredients, Dan Margineau, as we explore the cutting-edge science and innovation behind creating top-tier products.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Ingredient Evolution podcast. Hope you're all doing well and having fun. We've got Dan here with me, so we got a dual Dan day. Dan is with Respect Manufacturing, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself and about his company and what kind of things they do.
Well, thanks for the intro, Dan. My name's Daniel Febles. I have been in the manufacturing and fabrication industries for a little long, right around 27 years now. Been working since I was 12. Started off in the sign industry. It was a family industry, third generation. Got a little tired of that. Went into manufacturing consumer products with hemp and THC in them. I saw the boom in marijuana here in Colorado and saw the opening for managerial positions that were opening up. So jumped into that industry, and it led me to manufacturing consumer goods and products, whether they have CBD or not. So that's where we're at now. I'm with the company Respect Manufacturing. Been with them since its inception. We've built it up from a much smaller company, recently purchased in 2022, became Respect. We are in the industry of manufacturing ingestibles, cosmetics, topicals, over-the-counter drugs, organic, USDA organic products. We are also in just expanding rapidly. We are in a 30,000 square foot facility here in Denver off of I-70 in Havana, and just trying to make the most clean, compliant products that we can. Notice the industry is just full of mom and pops out there trying their best to make products, but a lot of regulations are getting skirted. A lot of things the FDA requires, and a lot of products out there that are just non-compliant. People shouldn't be ingesting, but they're still out there.
There's definitely a lot of that, and I've come across it in my travels with the products and those things. A lot of kind of snake oil out there, where if you look into stuff, it's not really what it says it is. They say it's CBD, and then you can't find an amount on there, and you find out that it's really because there's trace amounts or really nothing in there. Which is part of why we started this podcast, is to find people that we feel like are doing good things in the industry and doing the right things, and trying to highlight those. So,
well, we appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess tell me some of your guys' capabilities, right?
So we have the ability to fill various types of bottles, from glass to plastic. We have piston fillability, so your creams, your thicker viscosity liquids, we can fill those as those. We have the ability to fill oils. We have a 12-head piston driven filling machine.
Okay.
Runs at about 60 units per minute. We're able to we try to really be the Swiss Army knife of manufacturing. Too many times we hear clients coming to us saying, "Hey, I have one product here. I have another product over there. I got another product being made out of California," because they have a powder product, the cream product, and a sachet. And we have all of those capabilities here in-house, so that we can keep the client in one location, really centralize all of their production. It keeps everything really focused, and we can provide the client with a far better and superior product at the end. And they're not running around spending a ton of money trying to monitor it in multiple states.
Yeah, I know that can be a challenge when, it's nice to have everything under one roof. You got one person you're talking with and dealing with, and it's all under the same compliance systems. It's all under the same quality systems, all of those kinds of things. similar SOPs and stuff along the way. So it makes it, from a manufacturing standpoint, it makes things a lot easier to manage and to deal with. So, what kind of, say there was somebody that came in and said, "Hey, I've got this product I want to make." If you guys don't have the capabilities, how does that work?
So usually when the client comes in, we don't have the capabilities. We will look into if we are able to purchase machinery to bring it in. If we're able to purchase change parts to alter one of our current machines to be able to provide them with that service. It's quite rare that I turn away a client when they have something that we don't do, unless it's something that it's just mutually not advantageous for both of us to go into. It's going to cost our company $200,000-$300,000 to outfit, and in 6 months, you're obviously not going to get product in time to keep your production going. So obviously we don't push for clients like that, but really, if I just recently had a client come in, they want to do HTST hot fill drinks. We are able to do hot fill, but not HTST. I'm currently looking into an HTST machine so that we can bring it in, help this client out, also increase our capabilities.
Great. And you guys share some of the costs on that? Does that go into the?
So it's really, it opens up the conversation with the client. We offer the ability for the client to go ahead and purchase the machine, and we offer them a volume discount per unit until the machine is paid off. We go ahead and we purchase the machine, increase price slightly until that's paid off. So there's multiple ways we can do it. And then it just depends on, if I have 5 clients that all need the same machine, usually the company just picks it up. We put it into the overall machine expenditure and provide the service.
Wonderful. What kind of capacity are you guys at currently in that 30,000 square foot facility?
So current capacities, we're able to do 10 to 15,000 units bottle fill a day. When you're talking anything 8 ounces and lower, above 8 ounces, of course, the numbers start coming down as the volumes get higher. But we're able to churn out. We have 9 production lines that we can run simultaneously. We have tons of power in the building, so no need to run over here, and we can't run that side over there. So we're actually able to produce a fair bit of product per day. I would say we're close to we'll be able to churn out about 2 to 3 million units depending on the products per month.
Wow, great. And how much extra capacity do you guys have right now, like that you're looking to fill?
I've got a 30,000 square foot facility. Like I was saying, about 10,000 square feet of that is production floor. About 5,000 square feet of that is empty. So I've got a lot of expansion ability, a lot of blank space that I can grow with.
Great. It's good to have it full, but it's nice to have the openings for added capabilities or added customers or combinations of those things, I would assume.
Absolutely. Right now we're currently looking into a gummy line, so we'll need 50-foot long. And we've got plenty of space for that. There's a couple of different expansions we're currently looking into, but still we'd have a lot of space left.
Yeah, it's part of being in a warehouse area or industrial area is you can usually get a little more space and kind of grow into it.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. What kind of innovations and things are you guys working on? What kind of technologies are you looking at?
So currently we're working with an outside AI tech firm. They are working on making more dexterous robots, very similar to the Elon Musk robots that are out there right now. We are currently working with them. We wear these hand clamp with cameras on them, and we go through all of the packaging that we think we could do. And or at least push off to a dexterous robot that can then visibly see the product, recognize what needs to go into each box. So it's definitely going to help with automation moving forward. Making it to where it's not just, yes, we fully automated this specific bottle, but now you need a whole nother machine to do this other bottle. Their machines will be able to run whatever you put in front of it, and it'll recognize it and do the task.
Interesting. What about from like an ingredient standpoint? Any innovation there?
We're currently working on some extracts, on making extracts and creating a pure extract, but that'd be more for my R&D department to speak on.
Okay. Awesome. Have you guys ventured into, kind of a nano or water soluble?
Water soluble, yes. We actually have a client that has that all they do is water soluble. We make a water soluble acne cream for another client. We are currently getting in a glass reactor so that we can start in R&D kind of really messing with water soluble hemp.
Okay, awesome. What is there a specific technology you guys are using, or?
I'd have to talk to my R&D on that one.
Okay, sorry. It's good to have a good R&D team, so that's good.
He's super smart guy. I found that everybody who's really, really good at that R&D department, not a lot of social skills. They're not the greatest, but they're our R&D chief. I can hand him any bottle of anything and so hey, I want this, but put this in it, and I'll have 3 iterations within 2 weeks.
Wow.
This is your exact copy. This is what the ingredient you wanted to change, and here's what I think it should be.
Nice.
So it's
nice.
Haven't gotten anything yet I can't throw at him and he doesn't spit back something that's functional and actually sells.
It sounds like a valuable team member.
Absolutely.
Awesome. What would you guys say your biggest challenges are?
Our biggest challenge, I would say our biggest challenge is marketing teams. It's when the client allows the marketing team to kind of drive their overall packaging. They tend to make it a challenge to manufacture. Either we'll come in and say, you can't put that on your label, or they'll put it into a bottle or a spray top that's a nightmare to work with. It's always something to the aesthetics that makes it very difficult to manufacture. Everything else we've got pretty buttoned up. We try and follow the process.
So they don't understand the term design for manufacturability. Is that
we have a habit. I can't lie. It happens every once in a while. We get a couple of them that they've actually put in the work and the thought, but I'd say about 80% of the time, the marketing team is the one that makes it the hardest in manufacturing.
Yeah, all the little inserts or boxes that go in boxes, and I've run into a lot of that in my career as well. So, my personal feeling is that anybody who is going to design something should be spending at least 6 months on the manufacturing side of it, so they understand when they are applying, razor thin tolerances to something, what that actually does and how it impacts the actual, manufacturability of it, or impacts the, scrap rates or things like that. So that's my humble opinion that should be a requirement for any design engineer or any marketing or packaging designer.
I would couple that with they should have some sort of compliance training from the FDA for labeling, because it's more often than not they're throwing a claim on there that you're having to come back. So, hey, we can't do that. You can't put that in there. You got to pull that off. Or, hey, this needs to be in ingredients in dominance order. Or, this needs to be the INCI name, not your whatever the name on the package is. So it's those little things. If they knew those things ahead of time, it would streamline the process completely.
Awesome. What about like product changeovers, anything like that? Do you guys have those down pretty well?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's definitely trying to be a Swiss Army knife. You have to be able to change your machinery pretty fast and
Yeah.
change over. We've gotten it down to about a 4 hour switchover at the longest. And that's one that requires the 6 stations of filling, meaning every single one needing adjustment. Like right now we're adjusting for a 32-ounce fill on our line that we were just filling 30 mils. So we've got to change out all the pistons, all of the lines, go down and change where the heads are, all of that. And we've gotten that down pretty packed. So we're able to streamline. And then we've got our productions down where we're finishing just before the end of the day. We'll do all of our changeovers and clean outs before the end of the day, leave everything sanitary. And then the next day we just roll in and start on the next one.
Great. That's important in the scheduling process.
Absolutely.
Awesome. What other kind of things? Anything else you're seeing in the industry or trends you're seeing happen?
And one of the biggest trends I've noticing is just manufacturers not wanting to answer phone calls. I have been called by so many clients that are trying to find a good manufacturer and they just don't want to answer the phone. They don't want to give them the time of day. And it's mainly because there's a lot of manufacturers out there that the MOQs are just so high. It eliminates the ability for new companies to really start. And that's definitely something that we strive on is bringing in those new clients and bringing them to market, going from, hey, you have an idea, we can make that idea into a product for you, and make it functional and get it out, within a reasonable time. It's not going to take 2-3 years to produce this. I think our fastest turnaround was 6 months, from inception to go. Mind you, it is very simple tincture. It was something we've done for years, but still it's, a new thought ran through and, we try to be there for the clients. I regularly will go in and I'll adjust an MOQ or give the client benefit of that. Okay, well, if you only want 2,000 to start, awesome. We'll call this a pilot run to start. We'll get your product out there so you can at least get some eyes on your product, see if you have interest. Because if you don't, a lot of dreams just get stifled that way, and saying, oh, well, I got to spend $50,000 just to get 1,000 units. This is insane. And, we try to eliminate that headache for people.
That's amazing, especially for startups and people that, come with an idea and not a giant wallet to make that idea happen. There seems to be a lot of that. Okay. What are some of the craziest products that you've had come to you, or craziest ideas you've had come to you? Either A, that you can tackle, or B, that you've said, I don't know that this is going to make it.
I mean, I've had a plethora of clients try to start the THC system. And hey, it only has 3% now, but when you put it in the product, it has like 9%. Is that okay? No, it's not okay. We did, early on when the company was young, we did, a lot of CBD tinctures. It seemed to be, that's when CBD, when the hemp bill was first signed, that was kind of everybody's go-to was a tincture. Yeah. And there was one, it's mainly an ingredient, vapor distilled hemp. I absolutely hate vapor distilled hemp. I call it bong water. That's what it smells like. And it is absolutely horrendous to manufacture with it. It dirties your machines beyond no belief. The product never tastes good. I haven't had a good experience with vapor distilled hemp. So we had a product that came in, they wanted 1,500 milligrams in a 75 milliliter bottle. The bottle was a super artsy, like wiggle bottle that went up.
That sounds like a nightmare from a manufacturing standpoint.
It took me 4.5 days to get this CBD out of our kettle after making this product, because it baked down onto the kettle and hardened. So we had to come in and heat it all back up and wipe it clean, because if we can't scrape it, all that steel, and we can't be scraping steel like that. So
Yeah.
it took many, many days to clean that. Man, that's really been the worst horror story, because every other product we've made, I actually stand behind most of them. We made a lot of products for Theragun. We made actually all of their lotions and their muscle balm that they had, for a good long time. We were the contract manufacturer for them. That was a phenomenal product. It worked really well. We make a bunch of pain creams now, and we also make a lot of different products that really I don't have any that I would say that I don't like or that are hard to manufacture. That lotion though for Theragun, that one was probably the hardest one I've ever had to manufacture. Being that it's an organic lotion that we made in house.
Okay.
It was developed by our R&D team. It was USDA 95% organic. We were able to get a 95% organic stamp on it. But the process to make it, when you make it in the lab, yeah, sure, you can grab your vessel and kind of mess with the mixing and whatnot on the high speed or on the high shear mixer. But when you're in a vessel, you can't do that. You just gotta hope that it goes through, and we would be sitting there helping it mix just to get it down into the homogenizer to then homogenize it. Cause one of the ingredients or the stabilizing ingredient was alcohol. That was the preservative. When you added the alcohol in, half of it would just start to curdle. So you'd have to then homogenize that all together, and it would then make a smooth, beautiful lotion. But adding it in, the top curdled, the bottom wouldn't, and you'd have to force the process.
You have to get down. Specific different types of mixing blades and things like that. Or
exactly, we ended up going with a vacuum mixer, and that eliminated all issues in the end.
So you have some good relationships with manufacturing, with equipment manufacturers.
I talk to a lot of equipment manufacturers. Yes, I've spoken to, of course, many Chinese manufacturers for machinery, and then we've got a couple of different machines here from the States. It's always cost with machinery, and dealing with a machine that's $60,000 from China and $250,000 from a U.S. company, and then you look at the U.S. company's machine and it looks eerily like the Chinese machine. You find out that you're paying for a manual.
Well, sometimes that manual is valuable if it.
Yes.
I've dealt with some of those manuals that are, seemingly translated over like a smoke screen or something funny that just, you're like, wait, what?
So many times I'll get a manual in, the screen's on it that's saying this is what your screen should look like. Looks nothing like it. The instructions don't match the machine you're actually working. I received a sachet machine just 6 months ago. The picture on the front, my exact machine. Everything involved inside of the manual had nothing to do with my machine. It was a powder filling machine. I have a liquid filling machine. It called out for just the machine didn't have. And so I find myself rewriting manuals regularly whenever we have to purchase from outside of the States. But hey, that's a fun part of the engineering part of it. That's fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the weirdest ingredient that somebody's wanted to put into something, or the most difficult to find or source?
One of the most difficult to find right now is Cepagel 300. It seems to be the hardest ingredient to find, and all it is a thickening agent for cosmetics. It's in a stream back order. It's a foreign made product brought into the States. Every supplier in the U.S. has been sold out for a little over 2 months.
And how many of your products does that impact?
Only two, thank God. And it's one of my clients that they put in orders probably every 3 months. So luckily they had an old batch at an old manufacturer that would cover their current batch. But I'm seeing that that's one of the ingredients currently that's really, really hard to get our hands on.
Yeah.
Really everything else has been surprisingly easy to get my hands on. I mean, I can get lidocaine ad nauseum. It's crazy. I'd say kava is probably the hardest one of the harder ones as well. We get our kava from Calm with Kava. As you know, kava's all from Bulgaria, so that we end up with we order a lot of it. You said you've ran Foria before. You know, they love their kava. So we end up with a ton of kava at our facility. And regularly we're just waiting on the next, harvest for them to send us in 4 or 5 giant pallets worth of kava that's ground up.
Wow. That's a lot of kava.
It's a lot.
Anything else you want to touch on?
Mainly that, probably our parent company. So we try to be a complete turnkey option. So we were purchased by CDW, Consolidated Design West. They're out of Anaheim, California. They're a 6 green belt distributor. They've been around for 30 plus years. They've provided packaging for Coke, Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, Ghost energy drinks, really the plethora of companies. So they wanted to get into manufacturing. They had been doing, packaging and labeling procurement for clients for years. That's when they purchased us. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to highlight, that, if you do come to us, you don't have to have everything. You can literally just have a dream, and we can make that dream come true.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, where can people find you?
Respectmanufacturing.com. Of course, we're there. We have you can email me directly, dan@respectmanufacturing.com. We love to hear from you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thanks for your time, and thanks everybody.